this meeting to order. This is the September 16th special meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission. Let the record show that we are missing Barbara and Colleen, but they may show up at any minute, but we're going to proceed. So with the quorum, now a special meeting agendas, we can't change the agenda. If there's anything else that you have to share, you can do that under commissioner comments, but do I have an approval for the agenda as written?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of July 14th. If you need a minute to look those over, if you've had a chance already, we can take a minute to read those.
So there would not be any minutes or any documentation from Millwood days?
It was not a quorum, so it was not a meeting.
Because we never had more than one person, or
Right,
two at a time, it's
Two at a
in
time.
passing.
okay. I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Second. Alex, did you see any change to the minutes?
I'm sorry.
Did you see any change to the minutes that need to be made?
I don't notice any.
Would you like to second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the minutes for July 14th?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Approved. Okay. So action and discussion items. So Lisa shared after our last edits for our sort of resource guide. She shared it with our legal representative, Brian. He looked it over, he made some changes. I think we were able to review those. But before they could be posted, the mayor also had some recommendations that were more cosmetic, right? And so these were attached. The council also had a chance to look it over, and I think there were any comments?
No, they were happy about it and pleased.
Good.
So we just wanted to share with the commission that it is set. We've got a PDF version. It's set to be put up on the website. We can make hard copies just to have available at the
So,
Good.
we'll go back to the main page and let's just see what, so this, I don't know what you guys were thinking, but where you wanted it located, but here's the main page, and then if you go up to under government, I think it was, and then the HPC.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe another green banner over here.
Yeah,
That
oh,
said-
that'd be great.
What is that kind of what you guys, I didn't know what you guys were thinking, but I thought that seemed like that would be a good spot.
Yeah,
For it.
FAQs, informational videos, primary responsibilities. And
It
then
looks like those
resource
are
guide.
alphabetical, so
Oh, okay.
it may go, if
Last.
that were the case, it would be, you know, cause it's isn't it listed as historic preservation resource guide or City of Millwood historic?
historic.
Yeah. Millwood, historic
Millwood.
Millwood, so that would
Resource
make
guide.
it top on the list.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
okay?
even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sometimes
that's-
advertising works in your favor.
Yeah.
And if you can do any design like new, just something if someone goes to that page, does it
I
say
don't
no
know.
or?
I don't know how that operates that much, but I can ask.
That can be at least new for
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
'Cause
Mhm.
nobody
Right.
checks that page that often.
Okay.
And then are you able to make just maybe a couple of hard copies to have at the window if someone comes in and asks for it? Or
Oh, yes, yeah, we can keep those, our shelving is tight, but we can certainly have them available. But we can try, I prefer to have that there instead of some of the other stuff we have up there, which we really probably shouldn't have up there, so. I think we should have our own stuff up there before we have everybody else's stuff up there,
True.
but that's just my,
Just common sense.
That's a very good point. But yeah, any way that we can draw attention to it, we can put it in the newsletter.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we could
Okay.
put it in the newsletter.
well, that's a great thing to add to the newsletter. We were just working on it, Kenzie's working on the
Sure,
newsletter, so
yeah.
that's a perfect thing to put on
An
there.
attention getter, cause it's, like I've been saying all along, I'm gonna ask like five different people. When is there a resource guide, when is it coming out? And, oh, it's coming out soon, so that'd be good.
Yes, okay, certainly, that's a great idea.
Alright, and just,
And just, I don't know if everyone else has met Kenzie.
No.
So Kenzie Roderick is our new administrative assistant, and this is Annie Oakes.
We met at the-
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
she did. And this is Alex Brand,
Yeah, you do.
and Colleen is not here, and Barbara aren't here, and of course you've met Chris. So she started in June, and it seems like she's been here forever. She's just picking up things so great and so friendly, and everybody loves her, and she's doing a great job. So she's gonna start learning how to run the equipment as well, so this is our trial run.
great.
So she's working on that and doing all kinds of other stuff. She's been doing the minutes and helping with that sort of stuff too, so it's great.
Good.
And doing outreach at
Yes.
Days.
And here comes Dave. Hi Dave,
This is Dave.
this is Dave. I don't know what Dave's looking for, but
Hi, I'm Chris.
you're
I'll
looking for Chris?
get with you after the meeting.
That
and we'll
sounds
talk
great.
about
Okay,
budget.
all right.
Sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay.
I don't know if she got my email, so
Oh, okay,
I'll
sounds
have to
good.
come check.
Okay, sounds good. And we will dart out if we see someone coming or if the phone rings.
You'll what?
We'll come out and get the counter if need be.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
And then just last comment on the resource guide, it is a fluid document. So over the years, as we see things that we need to add or correct, we can certainly do that because we're not printing large amounts of copies or carving it in stone anywhere. And if we see or someone points out that the links don't work, then we can go in and
'Cause they
find
could-
alternate links.
Sorry, because they could change,
Yeah.
links change. They should be checked like every couple of months or so.
Yeah,
Check them.
unless we put it on our task list, or we'll just respond if someone says, hey, I went to that, the link wasn't working.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, if you hear of that, Kenzie, just let one of us know and we'll find an alternate link or update somehow. Alright, so next item for discussion, 100-year property recognition. That program is going strong. At Millwood Days, we had 3 people stop by the booth and request. So we've got the certificates, we're gonna mail the decals. There was just one property that turns 100 in 2026. So they knew that too when they stopped at the booth. So January, we'll put it on a list, and we'll send it out in January.
Mackenzie got those printed off and they're signed, and then you also put those on the log, correct? Mackenzie, on the log, and then did you note the other one, the new one? Yes, and noted the one that's due in 2026.
Okay.
So she's on it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out that that was going strong and gaining some momentum. So we can even continue to mention that in the newsletter too, if depending on room or space. But the resource guide would be priority if you
Yes.
try to squeeze things in. Let's see who that is.
Oh, I got it. Yes.
So next item of discussion is the Millwood Trail signage. So since our last meeting, I met with Vicky Nacarado and also Bobby Beasy, who did a lot of work on the signs. I was given a hard copy of at least their versions, and I know that the versions that are on the trail of like 5 of 8 that are on the trail did have some editing done by city staff before they were put up on the trail. But these are the versions that the Millwood history enthusiasts, you know, or historians put together. So they do have these in PDF form. They're not in an editable form. We'd probably need to go maybe re-input them or go to Bobby Beasy, who might have this on a file that we could move things around.
I think we used, I'm sorry, can I say
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
We used Google Slides, and you can, it'll set it up for you, just like a PowerPoint slide, or even better with, you adjust the margins as small as you want. You can upload, scan and not drag and drop photos, fit the text around it. I think that's what we used. It was pretty, if we had to start from scratch, it would be
Okay.
good to start with those.
Okay, and not that we need to start editing these or anything, but I just wanted to let the commission know that we do have them, so we don't have to try to research, find photographs, create any new signs that we want to put up in 2026. Got a hard copy, but Lisa and Kenzie will now have at least the PDFs that they can share, like email to people if they want to see them. And then when we get working on editing, we can decide what's the best method to go about. I know Colleen expressed interest in maybe redesigning some of them, and but that'll be probably our project for next year. But if anybody does want a copy of the PDFs just to start perusing, reach out to Kenzie or Lisa, and they'll be able to probably attach them to an email.
And then I did have
And-
that
Yeah.
invoice on the back there. It's on the back page.
Oh,
So Lisa did find that in 2023, we used StripeRite to do the signs that are out on the trail already.
good.
And then this is how much they cost with some design work and the printing. And then probably Public Works staff did the installation.
I
Or
would
did they do
assume so.
that themselves?
I think they did, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, it wasn't part of the
Yeah.
invoice, so
So this is 2023.
yeah.
So if we times it by 2 and add 10%, it'll probably be, that's our estimate. Don't let anyone know I said that. But that, I mean, it looks so reasonable now, $7.29 for five, not posters, but
Yeah.
5 signs.
We were talking about 3 more, right?
3 more.
So probably around the same price, I would think,
Yeah.
maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a good guess. If we were to use them, and I know Colleen was gonna reach out to maybe other sign
Mhm.
companies too, but at least for budget purposes,
Right.
this will give
Ballpark.
us
Yeah.
enough information, I think, to at least
Mhm.
put in our request.
Yes.
And also their lead time, 5 to 10 business days from approval of proofs. That's pretty reasonable, that's basically a week or a week and a half to get them done. I mean, that's kind of exciting, actually.
Yeah, knowing that we've got the content, just needs to be designed, and we've got at least a company that's done it before. And I'm not sure what the budget limits for the city going out for bid. I mean, could we do this without going out to bid because it's under
I
a
would
certain
think,
amount?
so, yes. At this price point, I think you could do that. This would be definitely under the mayor's discretion.
So just kind of throwing that out there. It would probably be fairly quick if we get everything approved. It's approved in the budget to begin with.
Yeah, if it's approved in your budget, then I think the price would make it, at least that's my understanding. 1,000 total, it's definitely gonna come under that in your budget for this particular project. I think you'd be golden.
Great.
Alright. And then, before we get into the budget, local register assistance. Just also update that while I was at Millwood Days, the booth, Joseph Meriden, did approach me again, asking for, he wanted his property listed on the local register. He said, well, you have to go through the nomination. He goes, I've done that. I explained that you haven't, and that even showed him a copy of the form that we had there, and said that I have reached out to commissioners and former commissioners about assisting him to fill that out. Talked to Vicky and Annie about their willingness to maybe help him do that. I guess Annie's expressed concern that she doesn't really want to do that.
But Vicky doesn't want to.
Vicky doesn't, I'm sorry, yes, that Vicky doesn't. But Annie said that she might be interested, but if so, you would need to recuse yourself from
Yes.
any
Decision.
decision.
Oh, yeah, that's a good option.
It's a good option, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just my life is now totally different since September 3rd, so
Yep.
one more phone call or one more, thing, but I should call him just to follow up.
Has he reached out since that email that I
Not that
sent him?
not that I know of. So, but I mean, time flies, so. I think to contact him, did he indicate that he uses email?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, he said that he would.
okay, well, I'll follow up when I can. Cause, I would like to, I know he's mentioned it in prior visits at the farmer's market, so I kind of hate to leave him hanging.
Okay.
So I've got his number, I'll follow up. But the other thought was, and this was actually came out of discussion with Vicky, going to somebody's house is kind of intrusive, having somebody come to my house is intrusive. Her suggestion was, is there a time that we could meet at City Hall and just sit and go over the form together, Is there any times that it would be off limits, that would not be Monday, Tuesday,
It's-
Wednesday?
It would just be the two of you
Yeah.
probably. There's this little office down here.
Anytime.
Pretty much just
Okay.
anytime.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
This room here, well, last week, no, Tuesdays at 9, it's booked.
Yeah.
That I
Okay.
forgot about. But typically, if it's just a couple people, you can go there, or we have an office downstairs if this one happens to be busy, but.
But I could call you first and say, got Joseph, we're gonna
Yeah.
come.
We're
Okay,
not usually that busy.
great, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Anytime 8 to 4.
Okay, and that kind of sets a precedent too for, now, once we get him on, then we can say, yeah, we just meet and we'll get her done at the City Hall and, which is appropriate. Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Well, thank you for doing that. At least reach him out.
Thinking
It's-
about doing it.
Just say
Thinking about
that
reaching out.
he needs, I do believe that a property owner needs to be invested in it too. We can't do it
Yes,
for them.
Right.
And he just can't say, I want to be on. He needs to help us too.
Right.
So,
And he'll need to research the details about his home or verify what he already knows, or pictures would be great. Do you still have that photo that someone dropped off of your house, the prior owners?
oh, it's probably somewhere.
But I mean, it's just such a
It's-
great thing to
Yeah.
I have pictures, or I don't, but I have pictures of your house back in the 40s or right after it was built, or somebody's, the family's out front and their, 1950s car in the background. That would be so cool to be able to collect photos like that for every historic home that we have. So I'll see what he has.
Great. All right. And then what we really need to meet about today, because time is ticking, we need to submit our budget request to the treasurer, whom you just met, by the end of this month, September 30th. So that, it's less than
This
2
meeting.
weeks. This is the
This
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we weren't given a format, and that's when I'll talk to the treasurer about
You
it,
know,
but
it's
it's not like there's a form that we put in and justify and have numbers and.
Not really, it can just be a written paragraph. I mean, for the department heads, it's a little more specific as far as, this bars code, this area, what's your budget for this area, what's your budget for this area? It's really precise but for boards and commissions, it's a little bit, I mean, I think you guys are doing pretty good if you did trail signs. This much,
$1,000,
this
free
much,
sign.
this much,
Okay.
this much, we anticipate this much, and then go from that. I think that would be sufficient.
Alright, so I know in past meetings, we've talked about some of the projects that we would like to do for 2026, which include the trail signs, historic signage for the historic district. I know Colleen was gonna look into that. I realized that at Millwood Days that we're running out of our brochures. So I don't know if you found another stash of these, or how many we have left, or if we need to reprint these, or if.
That's all we had, and I don't know who printed those.
We're talking
I'm sure we
about
can find.
2010. When did the commission start?
That's a good question.
It's like the first year
Mhm.
that the commission existed, we have these printed. So
I'd have been 17. Could have been that, because I think, we're 8-year terms, or 8 years that we've been here. So 2017 would have been the first year.
somewhere
That's
in there.
ring a bell. I'll see if I can figure out who printed the brochures.
I know we had a grant through the
Oh, did
state
you?
that helped with that printing and a workshop that we did that first
Well,
year.
that helps with research. We might be able to find something on the V drive
Stan,
with that. And if you think it was 2017, we could maybe look at the vendor list maybe and find
Yeah,
who maybe printed them. Not that they're even still in business,
true, but at least even the artwork.
But we
The
have
layout.
that
Oh, okay.
on the, I mean, I don't know, we do have it on the V drive.
Yeah, because
actual
there would,
brochure.
yeah, and there would be just a few minor edits, but if we needed to make like 100 more of these,
that would be good.
we can throw that in.
Okay, we can look to see if we can find anything that, and if you could look to Annie, maybe get us a name or something, that would be helpful.
Okay. Another workshop was Stan, it was in the Tom Richardson days. And our presenter was Stan, I can't think of his last name, but he was an architect who specialized in historic renovation. And his glasses broke and.
She's got a very good memory. Remember all these details, except his last name.
Everything but his name, yeah. Well, we promised to always have one of those little spare eyeglass kits, as you go to the checkout at the store. Okay.
So Alex, do you know if Colleen had a chance to come up with any numbers for the signs?
I'd be curious. She's been pretty busy lately, and she should be here in a minute if that's a question you want to re-ask when she gets up here.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't think so, because I've been kind of waiting to calculate the new poles that are going up to with the rest of the street topper stuff. So I mean, that'd be a little bit of additional signage. So I guess we'll find out if she's done anything beyond what I have.
Hello, I'm so sorry, the appointment took way longer than I anticipated.
Well, we had
Just talking about
questions for you.
good timing.
We just got to budget discussions.
$18.54 per square foot. That's how much the sign will cost.
Per square foot?
Yes.
I've never heard signage by square foot.
So that's like
Yeah.
a street topper sign, I mean, that's.
They can do anything. This is through the Washington, like, Department of Transportation.
Reasonable.
Oh, so
Printing.
that's asking them to do it, okay.
Yeah. They can do whatever size or shape and design. And then online through the online retailers, it's comparable. I think it was $35 for a 6-inch by 18-inch sign, which I think is about the same cost.
So 30 or
How much was there, a 6x18?
It was a
so much?
6-inch by 18-inch sign, so we're limited with the online vendors because you have to basically purchase whichever option they have available. So the one that I was looking at was 6 inches by 18 inches rectangle, and that was about $35.
Is that double sided?
Six-
Mm-hmm.
So 6 of those, or how many did we decide?
Well, I think we were talking about doing the signs on the light posts.
Yeah,
And so for those, I would not do the topper ones. I would do ones that hang out to the side, so either oval or some other shape.
okay.
But $18.54 per square foot.
So what would be a total ballpark?
I was gonna try to get I was gonna try to figure out how much square footage was in a sign, an oval sign about this big.
You get into calculus.
Yeah, and well, not calculus.
Well, 18 by 8, you know, I mean, that would be an
Yeah,
18 by
it's
18
comparable.
square, right? Would be
I don't know that we. I would.
square foot.
I would say it would probably be comparable to about a square foot because I imagine we'd go a little bit less than a foot and maybe a little bit wider than a foot to get the oval shape.
So probably not, I mean, you figured $30 for one,
Right.
that's not, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
way more than you would need. You know, probably less than that, but there might be set fees.
or the mounting hardware, I don't know.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just throw in,
Probably some of that
Labor.
too.
oh, that could be. that
But
could
you
be-
were only talking like on the street lights, right?
I think that was phase one.
And we're not 100% sure how many street lights there are, correct, or are we?
Hmm.
I'm not.
We know there's 1, 2. I think there's 2 at least, maybe 3.
I
It's
think
like
there's going to be.
3 that are wired to go in right on the corner of Euclid and Argonne-ish.
So,
So we'd want 1 at least there. So I mean, I would say for $300 or less would be way more than we would need.
for at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
3 to 5, and if there's more, do more. Yeah, that seems.
That was the part I
And
wanted
you
to
might
make
wanna
sure I was
go.
here for.
Yeah.
I said, might wanna do 4, just to give yourself some wiggle room.
Yeah, 400.
I always go high.
That's true.
On a budget,
I mean, if we,
you-
I feel like if we ask for 500 and they walk us down from there, that would be,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
If
what I'm
I-
Okay, 500.
Because it could be 3 to 5 signs.
Right, and then-
I mean, it could-
and then if it's approved, we would be able to kind of probably begin phase 2, which
Yeah.
is getting these street topper signs done. But especially as Millwood is looking to increase their business and people coming into the town, I think this is the right time to let people know that there's a historic district.
You also might want to, on these, on your projects, prioritize, have the one you want first, cause they may say, okay, we'll do these 2. But these others are gonna have to wait till 27.
And I think
Something
I
like
think
that.
we're aligned on that we want the ones along Argonne first and then the ones back in the neighborhood after that, yeah.
Generate some interest.
Yeah, get
Yes.
people off Argonne into,
Yes.
So we're up to 1,500 now,
What was the other 1,000 for?
the trail signs, 3 trail
Oh.
signs. And there's a invoice on the back of your packet.
Did we reach out, is this the, who did it last time?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
2023.
Okay. We could,
And they don't have to do it again, but it does give us, you know, you factor in inflation, it gives us an idea of what it might cost to get 3 more.
yeah, I'd be interested, cause when we were looking at our signs, who did them? One of the bigger companies actually ended up being one of the lower costs. Baldwin Signs, I think, is who we got.
These guys do a lot of our other signs here, so I don't know if that's maybe why they decided to go with them, just cause it was easy.
We're also talking about what's the limit before the city of Millwood has to go out for bid on things, and I think this would fall under that, so we could certainly call around or ask around for other, but we don't have to do formal bids.
We think.
We
Yeah.
think. I think the city of Spokane, it was like $10,000 would trigger bids, anything under that you can.
So are we replacing all the signs?
No, we're
We're adding 3.
To start, just add the 3, I think is what they were.
so that was for,
Each sign is only 100.
Yeah.
Are we just rounding up to in case?
we were rounding way up.
We were rounding way up.
We're gonna ask for $1,000.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if the signage less, we could always redesign or update some of the other signs.
I would love for us to do that for readability's sake.
But I was sharing, Colleen, that I did get the content that was created for all the signs.
Awesome.
And we don't have to, say, reinvent the wheel or do other research.
Wonderful.
We should be able to get the images that are on these copies. So for 2026 budget, we're looking at, we need to reprint and redo our brochure. So looking into what maybe that cost, I'm sure it would be around just a couple $100 or less. If we were just doing a.
I would love to design that. I think using our commission skill sets that we have here, like Andy's writing skill sets and my graphic design skill sets, I think is a great way to save costs.
Be for that. Lisa was gonna look, Kenzie, we're gonna look up just the original. So it might be easier to move things around. What if you wanted to start from scratch? You could also do that.
Yeah, even if the file is existing and I can just use that, but I mean, that's literally my job is print design, so.
We have something on the AV drive, I don't know exactly what quality it is, but I could send that to you if you want.
Yeah.
So how much you think 100 copies would be for redesign brochure?
For just 100 copies,
I would say 500.
yeah, I would probably do more.
Because this is a 10-year. This is less than 10 years.
The cheapest place I found to print things around here is the Minuteman Press off of Marietta. It would probably be less than $2 per brochure.
So put another $1,000 for brochures. We could work down from that if our budget looks.
There we go.
I mean, we have enough of a buffer in there that hopefully if they knock us down, we can still do things, or we can modify how many we're gonna get printed or anything like that, so, yeah.
Okay. Decals for our 100-year property, are we getting low in those? Do you know?
Well, I don't know exactly how many are left, but I can go look and see, there's still, yeah.
It's not that we're doing more than
Right,
4 or 5 at a time kind of thing.
but I can get you an exact number, how many are left. You've got a couple in here, but, oh no, that other package that you gave me back, that's right, it was in that other one.
Yeah, I was thinking I might have one in here anyway.
I'll go through back and grab them. And then did you wanna talk about the other historic sign, or just the, oh, that's that, never mind. Got it.
So brochure, trail signage, possible getting some more decals, historic signage. Were there any other projects that we were anticipating for 2026 that would need funding?
Are we doing any events?
I just wondered about Historic Preservation Month. We were gonna do, could think of something to do for that.
I don't know, do we have many costs usually with those types of events?
Well, we haven't really planned one. We've got quite a few.
Oh, okay, that's.
I don't know where we would display or meet or,
Yeah.
and then on the reader board, come in for a sticker. But I just wondered if there was anything you want to plan for that.
For events, I'd rather put our focus on the centennial.
True, next the following year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking our experience of Millwood Days in the booth. Kenzie, did you have any feedback on the way we displayed? Do we need anything to draw people in or that could increase our visibility that we would need to purchase?
Not off the top of my head.
Do we have like a banner or something that we can put on, or a stand-up banner?
We did have City of Millwood, a banner, and then there was a table that had Historic Preservation Commission with the logo.
One thing I found when doing these events with Christina, it was really fun. One year we did something, it was a map of the city. You could just do like a map of the historic district, kind of big, and then pins of, which house do you live in? Find your house kind of thing. And you could do the whole city too, and then people kind of find their, but that really, you don't need much. We can just print one of those off really with the big printer. But if you wanted to do something more and had like pictures of the houses or something like that, or what's your favorite historic house, or do I don't know, something like that. But that's more active for adults as well as children. I know you're supposed to have a children's activity, but that can qualify as both, but it really brings the adults
Yeah.
more in. It's a little more engaging, and it can start the conversation of, oh, your house, and if you had the list there of what, or an ability to pull up on the assessor site how old their house was, because they may not know, you could get into that conversation with them right then and there about
That's a great
what
idea.
their house is.
Yeah.
That's one, but that wouldn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
That
for
would, I
now.
don't think you would know.
Yeah, I would say any
You
of
can
those
get
costs could be probably rolled into
Yeah,
our
that's-
asking.
For Millwood Days.
Yeah, that's a good
That would be
no with this
great.
activity.
Yeah. Good.
It's true. I remember that.
Yeah,
That
we
was
did
good. It
that.
got a lot of
Mhm.
people in.
It did. But we didn't even go that far to do the look it up on the assessor site, because we
No,
weren't
it
doing
was
that
just
then.
putting
It was
the
just
pin where you lived and then getting a.
Yeah, but if you went that next step, that would even be better. But yeah, I was also thinking about the 100-year, or there's some things that you think maybe you need to get started next year for the
For the
following year,
centennial.
because you could have a little of your budget maybe go there now, and then a little of the budget
First
next year.
up.
Can I ask, is that the thumb drive with the video?
No, she gave it to.
No, that's the thumb drive with the trail
Okay.
signage.
Because the thumb drive was left in the TV.
I think we just left it there, so then we.
Yeah, it's still there.
That's where it was when I found it originally.
Yeah, okay,
So,
that's right.
I was
It's
like, I
probably
know where
just
it's
as safer than in my purse, probably.
Yes, I think, yeah, we'll just leave it there, because no one else is using it.
Okay, good.
I think you're the only ones who's ever used it.
Well, that brings up another point. What if we had, we have 4 videos now. Would there be any interest in doing another house or another couple of houses?
I know we talked about taking the footage that we already have and editing it down to shorter, like 15-second spots that we could
Put on Facebook?
put on Facebook, other social media, or because I think the videos are under 3 minutes now. And
So
that's,
would we have to get Tribe Media to do that?
or somebody that does video editing, because we do have the footage. I mean, we've got the videos, they're ours.
I can if
But
we
I don't-
have, if we have video footage, I can edit down. Yeah.
Yeah, if we think that's one of our projects that we wanna do next year, if
It's
that would
like no
be,
cost
that
involved.
would be useful.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I feel like it might be wise to add another $500 for any needs that we might, like costs we might need to cover for the centennial. Since we haven't had a planning meeting for it yet, we don't know what costs are involved with it exactly, but I think asking for another 500 to
Prepare for centennial.
prepare for the centennial would be a good idea.
That's still 3,000, I think that's totally reasonable and
How many thousand?
3.
So what do we have? The trail signs, the brochures, the
The street signs
street signs,
and then centennial,
that's in this, okay.
that's
Okay.
very reasonable.
It's still very conservative.
Very, very concerned, and I think that that's good given the climate for this year.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's
Agreed.
conservative is probably good.
Right, and Lisa was sharing that, you know, we probably don't need like big justifications or
Just give us the money.
estimates from company, we just need to be able to, say what we want it for, how much. Sentence to explain, I can do that.
Yeah.
And get it turned in next week.
Great.
If for some reason you think of something before the middle of next week, let me know before I send in the final.
I do want to look at doing.
Satiated.
I do want to look at doing the picking up the movie in the park things and kind of owning that as a way to raise awareness, but I don't think there would be any cost associated with that for next summer.
Huge cost,
Is it?
it's a huge
Oh,
cost.
for the movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a huge cost for the movies and it's gonna be a huge cost for the insurance.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Inflatables have been, we can't use inflatables at all anymore, that's been, so the screen that we had, can't use it. What we had now was just we were drawing that tarp across there. So, but the rights to get the movies is definitely a cost. It was like 500 when Christina was doing it back, 2 years ago? I don't have any idea what they are now. So that would be at least that, and then, if you're gonna do staff time to do that, you'd be talking at least, I'm thinking probably 4 hours for staff, probably 2 people, cause you'd have to set up, tear down. And it's 2-hour minimum for a callback. So it would be probably 2 guys. 2 hours before, 2 hours after, so 8 hours overtime. So that's gonna run you a little bit, probably more than a movie. That sort of things, I'm guessing. So I mean, it's not out of the question. We'd also would have to run it by the insurance company. Just make sure that it would be a covered event and make sure that we wouldn't have to do any extra insurance for that. I know we've done them in the past, but we haven't done them for a couple of years. And I don't know if Christina had to get extra insurance. I'm sure she had to at least make them aware that this was something we were going to do. And is this a covered expense or a covered activity under our insurance? Something like that. So that, just some things to consider when doing that.
The only other thing that kind of is in my mind too, years ago when another group was looking into this, I think they were looking at libraries because libraries get special licenses to air movies in certain, whether they're new movies or old movies, sometimes partner with a library can really reduce the cost for showing a movie. So if they did in a partnership with the city or did it around a special
be able
event
to do
or
that, 'cause
something
she was
like
doing
that.
like more current ones. She had to go with that Swank
Yeah.
movie place or whatever, and had to buy the movie rights.
Yeah.
Or had to buy the
and I
rights to
think-
it. It was like $500.
Yeah, I mean, speaking as someone who likes to attend the movies, I think just having the event is more kind of what parents are looking for. So I don't know that it has to be like new movies.
Yeah.
So I like the
So
idea
you
of working
like
with the
it.
library.
That's-
And as long as you're not charging,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
it's
Right.
not a moneymaker, so you don't have to pay royalties.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
There you go.
yeah, so figuring out this, so we can't do inflatables anymore.
We do have the great big screen. It's
Okay, we do have the
huge.
screen, okay,
It's a huge screen thing that they just tie between the two gazebo
okay.
things.
Would that be
And
something,
they have all the equipment.
would that be something that they could,
Projector, yeah, they have the projector.
could they
Yeah.
teach us how to use that and then we could be the volunteers?
Possibly. Maybe, yeah, it's possible.
So then maybe it's just the insurance, special event insurance, which
And it may already be something that's
Yeah.
covered.
I
just
wouldn't
don't know.
imagine that it would be more than, because we just did an insurance for an event that was several days and involved alcohol, and that was about $300.
Oh,
So I don't imagine it would be too much more. So it's,
probably.
so we could probably, I would say let's not do any more for our budget to
Okay.
cover it, but I would like to have us look at it for next year and doing that.
And there's gonna be a new mayor next year, and I don't know what the community outreach things will be. So that might be, Kevin was very pro community outreach, but then we had, the staffing issues, and those have just kind of been still happening for the last 2 years, so we just haven't had, it's just, so hopefully
Hopefully
that will
both-
resolve, and
Hopefully both
maybe the
candidates
city will
are,
want to do,
Yes.
do that, sponsor those events. Instead of
I
having.
hope that both mayoral
HBC.
candidates are interested in community enrichment. Is my hope.
They say they are, there's a big article.
I know, I just
in
read the article,
newspaper,
yeah.
Getting that word in there a lot.
I was like, oh, commission spot,
Yeah.
city council spot is open.
Yeah,
Alright, so I think we're good on budgets. I mean, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Slow budget, that's
Awesome.
for sure.
Alright, so commissioner comments. Any comments? I, also at Millwood Days, I was approached and I can't find his card. But there's a person who lives in Millwood that works for the Thin Air Radio. I don't know if you might be familiar with him. He said that he often complains about neighborhood, so he comes to City Hall a lot. But anyway, he says that he sets up radio spots. And I was explaining what the Preservation Commission for Millwood does, and he wanted to know if we might want to be interviewed on one of those radio shows. And I said, well, at our next meeting, I would share that with the group, because I didn't know if he was controversial, if we would want to, or if there was anything controversial in what we were doing, or
What's the point of historic preservation? You're wasting our taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool.
No, we
Yeah,
just
I
wanted
wanna-
$3,000, that's all.
But yeah, if everybody's for that, I will go through my files and I'll find his contact information and reach out.
Is that Ivan? Was that his first name? Igor? Don't ask me about names, as we covered earlier. Yeah, I think it's kind of a good idea, because I think we could handle any, super confrontational, because we get that all the time anyway, so I think it'd be kind of a good thing. And Thin Air is the KYPS or the
Yeah,
Community-
KYR.
KYRS or something like that, yeah.
And now they used to be in the community building and now they're in the central library for the city of Spokane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if, I just went to a Spokane Preservation Advocates meeting, I think last week. And there's a group that's gonna meet with, Megan Duvall. I didn't know if it would be valuable for our Historic Preservation Commission to network with other folks in the region, if it would make sense to, I mean, I don't know, but it just seems like there's
Oh, absolutely.
opportunities to kind of connect.
It's pretty invaluable as a networking opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe we could invite the Spokane Preservation Advocates to one of our meetings, or Megan
is awesome, and she's a professional, so we could learn from kind of the professional organization how they go about again raising visibility, reaching out to properties, getting nominated, and then should also say that at Millwood Days, I was approached by someone on the council that is still advocating for overlay districts. And so an overlay district would be to get permission of most of the high majority of the property owners in the historic district that would vote for that district to be an overlay district, which then would trigger demolition permits and renovation permits. So they wouldn't have to be individually on the local register to have those preservation safeguards kick in. If they're already in that overlay district, that would cause any work that they do on their property to come under review.
I think
So I think
would be interested
initially
in that.
we were looking at that, and then we just knew that it was going to be an uphill climb to get that. But I know that Megan and her staff did that for the Browns edition in the city. And so just for them to walk us through the steps of what it would take to create an overlay district in Millwood would be invaluable.
That would be great. Maybe that's how we reach out to Megan. You know, how can we emulate what was done within the Browns district here in Millwood, and then start that uphill battle.
And that could be something again, piggybacking on the momentum of the centennial. It's like, you know, if this is a high priority that we want to preserve our historic district and the field of Millwood, this is one way that we could do that. And then how would we go about that? So if you have in contact with her, just kind of put that in her ear, that could be something that we would want to maybe invite them to share that with us in 2026.
Yeah, I'm happy to reach out.
I feel like she'd be thrilled to share that
I know.
information.
Yeah.
Anytime I reach out to her, I feel like she's just very excited someone's reaching out.
Right. Any other comments? We've got just a few minutes. We need to set our regular schedule for special meetings because Mondays aren't going to work, at least in the short term, for all of our commissioners.
So third Tuesdays,
So the third Tuesday would still work,
the October,
morning or afternoon.
Gonna have to go later, well, I'm assuming still have a construction meeting next month, maybe, possibly, every Tuesday.
We have
I
2
don't know.
more weeks on that
I
deadline.
have-
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was before the month-long strike. Yeah. That's not too bad. So yeah, we
Is
wouldn't be
there
able to do that.
like 10:30 or 2 o'clock?
I like the 10:30
I did
person.
too,
Yeah, 10:30 works better, I think.
get it done.
So that's the 14th, that's also canceled today.
Well, the third Tuesday is the 21st, right?
Oh, the third Tuesday, okay. Okay, perfect.
Today's the third Tuesday,
Nice. I had the second on my head.
October 21st.
And then Barbara's got a conflict at noon, but if we're done in an hour,
Yeah,
she should be able to make that conflict. I'm not sure what.
Or she might have to leave early, but she'll be here for the majority.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 21st at 10:30.
sounds good.
And then we'll look at least for special meetings, we'll do it month by month, but I know November, the third week, it's gonna be right before Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's gonna be a conflict for anybody. But we can revisit that next month.
In November, third Tuesday would be the 18th. So that's
Is that
kinda-
Thanksgiving week?
That's the week before, so
It's
that's
like
this
not too
Oh,
terrible.
so we would be
Yeah.
fine for November too. Okay. Good.
Tuesday is Chris's birthday.
Someone's got to do this. Alright, if no other comments, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you.